more detail, you'll be able to, with Starwear, have your undersuit on if you want it, and then put certain, well, jackets over the top, all the jackets, certain trousers, gloves, boots on the top, then armor on the top of that, and then, like, in future, we're going to have hoods and big overcoats that can go over some of the armors too. So, all these layers.
It's like we said at SitCon as well, there will be areas where you can't wear armor, so clothing and all that will have particular uses and things like that.
We've talked about that in the past, like locations that prohibit it, and you have to kind of turn things into customs. So you wearing your, I mean, I don't think we're going to ever block an undersuit in that scenario, but it's probably more useful to wear the kind of combat clothing we were talking about.
There's never been an MMO where cosmetics isn't the end game.
Yeah, a couple people in chat were right away.
I didn't fix it.
Fashion Citizen is endgame.
I had an emergency at work.
Someone
I had to
said, is
jump over
Zach
too
showing
quick.
off Starwear?
Possibly.
But we are
Very
back.
early iterations. No, but it's
Hey, Cord and I.
it cannot be overstated. I'm really glad you
Sorry
brought
I'm
that up.
late. I had an episode
Chris,
at work. I
other
had to
people
jump to.
mentioned for years that this idea of wanting to facilitate the wearing of clothing as opposed to armor. He hates that everybody wears armor everywhere. So this will always be kind of
I
a goal
agree with
at
this,
some
man.
point.
I would love
go
to see more
When I
people wearing
first saw
clothing.
the outfit scanners,
When I'm on a
that were
ship,
part
I want to
of
wear clothing, but it's just
Stormbreaker,
inconvenient. I can't wait for the lockers.
it forced you to change into the
Thanks, Arcadia.
the scientist outfit in order to open
Sorry,
the door.
I had a work thing.
Like, I was really excited about what that means for the future. You know, forcing people to
Nash,
switch into
Thursday mornings,
outfits
Star Citizen
as opposed
Live.
to
I cover
armors
this
in order
live.
to infiltrate something. The gameplay options there.
They've been doing it very
were really
consistently
exciting.
every week, so.
It's like this. So yeah, it's.
This is just
combat
a short
clothing
stream.
is a bit
This is like an
interesting,
hour
though.
or two.
I heard the term and I didn't realize.
Not the 8-hour marathons
Not
we do on
full-on,
Saturdays.
No.
John Wick. Kind of thing.
Wait, not bulletproof.
What's up, Miracle?
Yeah.
No, but you know, some decent mitigation. Not to the point of being
We're
better
1,000
than
years.
light.
It was 1,000 years.
I started this stream on time,
It's going to be
but
clothing that's a little better than.
I had to bail real quick to do a work thing.
Okay. Cool.
I just moved teams, so there's a little.
I'm going to ask one more question
Chaos
before we go to Luke and his treatise here. Are there plans to add spatialization for sound in FPS? I think sound plays a major role in combat, but currently we can't locate our enemies or tell if they're wearing heavy or light armor.
Yes, I think this one was for me, but was it for me or was
No,
it
it's
for
for
you?
me.
It's not for
It's
me.
for
Yeah,
you.
me too, Lord and I.
Oh, there you go. Well, that's why I don't have it written
So
down.
I'm just going to talk for hours.
Go on, perfect.
Yeah, I've talked to
I would
the,
love to be walking around
audio
clothes
team,
most of the
and they're
time.
Really keen on enjoying this
What are you having for lunch?
factor.
Onion?
Reworking what we've got so far, so that if you're wearing a heavy suit,
Yeah,
you
Nash.
actually sound extremely heavy. But like beyond that, they really want to have the wearer feel that they're in a heavy, suit. So if you're wearing that massive radiation suit, you'll feel isolated.
Oh, God, I hate
You'll
that
be
massive
muffled around
radiation
you
suit.
As well. And I've
They're going to make it even worse by muffling the sound while we're wearing it.
of audio I want to hear specifically on.
It
like the
already
stealth
clutters up
suit
your
that
vision.
we're
Now it's
gonna
going to
be having.
friggin'
Like that wants to be the quietest sound.
muffle all
because
the noises around you.
no matter what emissions
Randy
it
Dern.
gives out and all that stuff under the hood, if you can hear your feet squeaking against the floor as you run, sneak up behind someone, that's really off-putting. So it's really important to nail all that.
It's also worth pointing out that footsteps have gone through a big iteration in Squadron as well, in terms of like when you sprint in SC right now, it's, you get essentially you have the heel down and the foot forward making a noise, but now it's just one foot plan. It's also reading the context of the environment as well. So if you're on like railings, it will make railing noises and things like that. So we've gone from like a generic footstep noise to an environmental context noise.
Yeah, you do, Nash.
I was just thinking about these really nice pair of Jordan 1 comforts. It's the classic Jordan 1, but the sole's been redesigned for maximum comfort, and it's got this little like triangle shaped cutout at the bottom, which is supposed to be great. But because I don't walk normally, my gait is weird, that little triangle makes a suction sound when I walk. So I got really excited to wear them. They look great. They're super comfortable. When I came to the office, it's like every time I walk, and it's just I don't wear them because
They're indoor shoes now.
I can't. And I get other people to check them out. I look online. Nobody else has this problem. It's just I walk wrong.
Is there a leaflet for that?
I don't know. No, not for that one.
If you want to sell them,
I can
some
relate,
people
Lord,
pay
and
good money.
I have an ear problem too.
When weapons like the
Not deaf,
pulverizer
but I'm like
have a
70%
slowdown effect from having
there.
them equipped on the back,
And
are there
one.
plans to give them weapon inertia as well, as in they handle slower than other weapons?
So just to start off that, they don't have a slowdown effect. They just weigh a lot.
Connor?
And depending on how much weight you have on your character moves slower. So we don't do like, oh, this gives you a 20% movement speed debuff just because you have this weapon on. It's systemic. There's weight. The more weight you have, the more you slow down. But yeah, go on. With the
I love
weapon
this.
inertia. Do you want to handle it? Because I can.
The thing is, I thought this had come last, so I thought I'd have done my spiel
Okay.
on.
So one thing we're talking about with the armor work is essentially having it so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the heavier the weapon is, the more weapon inertia you get. So if you've got heavier arms, it's easier to handle heavier weapons. So if you're wearing like light arms and you have an LMG, you'll essentially have a lot more weapon sway. Think with the Fresnel, how long that takes to correct the sight picture. That's an example of something that, if you had light and you picked up heavy, it's a way of saying, cool, you want to fit in the archetype, that fantasy of being like, oh, I'm a super heavy armor wearing, I've got my LMG, I'm walking in a location, versus like, oh, I'm light and I've got a pistol. Because as you know, in real life, the shorter the barrel of a weapon is, the lighter it is, the easier it is to move around. Like I was talking to Luke about this, and the reason why pirates always have short swords is because if they're on boats and they're killing people close, that's why they have short swords. That's why people clear runes with like pistols and SMGs and things like that.
All right, we're going to get to your question. Since it sets up, I want to preface this. This is actually 3 questions.
Yeah, it is 3 questions I'm answering here.
It is 3 questions. So, you got your notes, right?
Yeah.
All right. So, I want to show you. Can you see this? This is the notes for this next question. This is all one question here. It goes on to the next page. It's all more question. Yeah. It's that much. You wrote that much, Luke. So.
Hey, we're bringing content, you know what I mean?
So at this point, I'm going to ask these questions, and then Sam, Zach, and I are going to go get a beer.
Can you get me?
I'm excited for the armor specializations
So these are 3 questions.
We're supposed to be getting a medical one too, right?
One combined answer. Okay. Question 1: how will the upcoming armor rework make it so armor choice is more diverse? Question 2: what benefits are planned for players who wear light and medium armor in PvP and high-end PvE environments versus heavy armor? Currently, the movement bonus obviously doesn't typically offset the damage reduction of heavy armor. And question 3, with the addition of crafting armor coming, what's the progress on armor functionality? Armor roles like tank, recon, heavy scanning, stuff like that. All right. You ready?
I am.
You ready? All right. We should give. We don't have like a single camera for Luke, do we? Oh, we do. There we go. Excellent.
Which one is it? There we go. Okay, so progress is going great.
Finished.
It's something I'm actively working on, and we've had multiple reviews to decide which stats I'm actually going to be able to play with. Because one thing we don't want to do is ruin the game, like make it unbearable, by just making things worse. So there's lots of things we're doing to like improve things as well.
It's so hard. Yeah. It's so hard for me
Well, you
not
look
to say
so
something.
skeptical.
I'm going to bed now.
I had something so snarky I wanted to say right there, but you
Okay.
go ahead. You mean?
Like design-wise, I think we're like 90% there. I've just got to pitch some of the non-systemic perks. The perks you get for wearing a full suit of armor and stuff. Because we've got most of our the perks are actually quite systemic. So the stealth suit, actually each piece like blocks the emissions of your body and stuff. So like you have to have a full thing and suddenly you're stealthy. But the perks where you have to make something up, like I don't know. I'll give being able to.
I certainly don't want to force that bonus.
Let's say if you have a full stealth suit, right, you might get like a massive bonus to hiding your emissions.
Yeah.
Like as an example, something that makes sense within the context of the armor.
Something that's more than the sum of its parts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's the more gimmicky things I'll say.
bonus type
But I don't really want to go into it because I'm not pitch them. But right. So our main aims with the armory factor are to give players reason to wear flight suits, light, medium, and heavy armors. give players reasons to wear the combat versus utility armors, because that's been a big distinction now, the two of those. To give players a reason to change armors based on their intent, and that's for specializations we were talking about in SitCon 2 years ago. So I'll go into some of those later. And then give individual armor pieces a purpose, so that, like, you know, arms aren't just useless cosmetics and stuff. You know, each piece of the armor has stats with it that you don't get with the others. So, like for me, and I think for you as well, like the most important things is nailing those weight classes.
Yeah,
the feel of those weight classes.
It's very much so. Like last time I heard it's about the legs, and you get like you get mass reduction, right? That's so if you have heavy legs on, then your overall mass gets reduced because it's easier to walk and things like that. So it's like you don't just become instantly a tank because you've got the thing on. It's like, cool, I've got these legs. I don't want to be weighed down too much. I want to be able to like move faster, still my heavy, but that'll have other offsets, obviously.
Almost like a exo suit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just for support that it gives. Right now we have this funny situation where if you were wearing entirely heavy armor, you had a full backpack on, all the attachments, and then you took your leg armor off and you just had naked legs. I mean, in real life you'd crumple under that weight. But in the game now, you are faster because you weigh less.
Yeah.
And that's obviously
I've done that
something
before.
we want to get rid of.
Well, I haven't gone naked, but I go like light pants.
Like, if we like focus in on that, like the way we're going to make lights versus mediums versus heavies and flight suits, like very different, and actually a choice you make is there's damage mitigation. We're going to up the damage mitigation on mediums and heavies to give you a higher TTK.
We already have that.
Beyond where they are now, yeah.
Which gets obviously offset with crafting and the improvements that come with weapons. So.
Yeah, so me and Deck, who was on crafting, are in this interesting situation where obviously you only have between 0 and 100 to play with, and we're having to like meter out and share the percentages we can go up. Yeah. So I can go up to this, and then crafting will take you up to this. Okay. So yeah, that's an interesting thing to have to take into account.
You can build better weapons, and you have to be able to build better armors.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. It's a constant arms race, yeah.
Or you just hit them with
or a legs race.
I would think that crafting just could not take certain types of armor in certain directions, like
which is
couldn't take a full combat military suit and add stealth to it,
suits,
for example.
Helmets. So like not everyone is getting that anymore, which is kind of the way it's done right now until we figured out. Flip the page. The ability to have your MFDs cast to the visor, which I think everyone has right now when they sit in the ship, that's going to be for flight-specific helmets. And ship handling as well will be impacted by wearing medium or heavy armors. So that means that
if you could turn your head and still have visibility of your ship instruments,
take it slower if you've got medium and heavy armor on.
G-force resistance.
And G-force as well will be lower in those suits, so you'll pass out quicker. We're also increasing the G-force tolerance in things like the combat and racing flight suits, so it's not all just a negative.
That's cool.
FPS radar, when that comes, that's going to make a huge difference. It's between the weight classes for a start, because bigger things, they're noisier. You'll hear them on the
If by FPS radar, they're talking about what they showed in Squadron 42.
Helmets are seen as the default right now because they're the main archetype that we have online, but that will make more noises and emissions, so you'll get less feedback, but then you'll obviously be quiet and less picked up by radar and scanning and things like that.
Yeah, if you wear lights, like you'll all have the same strength radar, but being light gives you the ability to get so many meters closer before you're picked up.
Very cool.
And
these are the examples I wanted. This is pretty cool.
I'd say the most important feature is the mass mitigation, and that affects the weight affecting the player. Like you weigh more, obviously, the whole thing together weighs more, but if you have like heavy arms and then a heavy core and heavy legs, and then you've got a railgun in your arms, right? That'll be fully supported, no added weight to the player. But then if you start taking pieces off or making them like a lesser weight, that will start, like the percentage that those arms can take will get less and less. Like, you know, if you take your legs off, like, it doesn't matter what your arm's going to lift because your legs are still taking the weight of that thing completely.
Yeah, it's very nitty gritty, this obviously, but we still do have like high level archetypes as well. So like things like, you know, having like medic armor and things like that are still.
This is way
this is in the weeds, but we also do have the high level ideas of like, you know, different combat armors, different, like we have the scanning armor and things like that. What's it called, the hunter armor? Hunter armor and things like that, which obviously we're like way better at scanning and things like that. So there's some like very high level, easy to understand stuff, and then you have this stuff which is down in like the nitty gritty weeds of it.
Yeah. Like reducing the amount of times you're going to see somebody in a hospital gown carrying around a railgun.
Exactly.
So you know, if you want to be able to keep
I
a
love
railgun
that they're
up
taking
and on
the
your shoulder,
systemic approach, though. It's just like
to
everything they
actually
do,
increase
right?
the mass of your armor. in
Get
order
the
in
building
order
blocks
to have
right,
that,
and
Benefit.
things naturally
the support
manifest
system, you know, to you,
in
so
a
make it possible
intelligent
for you to
way.
carry it.
Yeah. And finally, this is not
Okay.
no. Finally, on
This
this
is
point,
not finally, by the way.
No.
You have "and finally" written in here 3 times.
Yep.
Luke, this is not "and finally."
This is
not and finally.
And finally on the weight class, right? Because this is what we're talking about. Weight classes, they span all of these architect types and that. Like you know, you can
Hunter suit
have
sounds
a
cool.
heavy medic maybe. So EVA, controversial maybe. EVA will be removed from undersuits as it is now, so everybody has it, having it, and put on some but not all flight suits and cores.
Interesting.
And we'll be introducing an EVA backpack for those who don't have EVA built into the suit.
Interesting.
Or if you do have EVA built into your suit and you just want more fuel and more oxygen, you can also put that on as well.
I like that.
It's a lot of, you're basically adding a whole lot of choice. Basically,
like
a whole
that a
lot of
lot.
tactical decisions between what you wear. It's not just going to be about rule of cool. You have to understand the situation that you're going into and the best loadout for that situation. Not just bringing the right
love
weapons.
this. I love this a lot.
Soon, or when the time comes.
If you know you're going into like fight that you're Mondi, you might want to bring people with like more medic suits, for example, because you know you're gonna have to heal each other more and things like that. So it's just, yeah.
Of course, if you don't have EVA, you just bring your fire extinguisher, right?
Yeah, right, Lord and I?
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Okay, and final no.
Or wear like the hunter suit and
that's
be
weight
like
classes.
scouting in
There's
the
a
woods
difference
ahead
between
and
combat and utility.
sending back
that's
targets. Like
between
if
difference,
especially if we
and
get
that's
target
mainly
sharing
down to
information like
mass
they showed on the
mitigation,
capital
which you
ships, if we
have
get that for
more of
FPS
on
ground
the
play,
utility,
once
that
we
will
have this
mean that,
FPS radar in there
like,
talking about,
combat
oh, that would be a
armors are
sick
lighter
roll.
to start with, right? But the moment you start loading them up, they get slower. Whereas utility armors start heavier, and then the more you load them up, the more they can take. So you kind of keep the speed you're running at with those.
I also can't wait to see
Whereas
people
if you
wearing
streamline yourself in
mining
combat,
outfits
you know,
on a
you'll always be
mining
faster.
operation. You know, just kind of
and
thematic.
Also,
I assume there's
Fit
different
of it all.
types of utility armor then.
yeah, there's loads. Yeah, which I will jump to now then. Right, flight suits. We've got
Miracle
racing
people doing
flight
different
suits,
things. It's always a
amazing
challenge.
G-force resistance, really good environmental resistances. So you know, if you're racing in a car on all kinds of planets, you'll be fine.
And I hear that's the flight suits getting their G-force resistance is not necessarily a far away thing.
No, I think Yoga's working on it very soon.
Yeah.
But they have no radar. They're like super stripped down, no EVA, and really poor damage mitigation because they're basically just kind of levers. Combat flight suits, which do have EVA, they have better damage mitigation, bigger inventory, but slightly reduced G-force and poor environmental resistances because they're made for space, right? Then you've got the combat armors. You've got the assault armors.
I'm with you,
which make
Project
up the
Gnome. That's why
majority
I'm
of our
against
armors
skins.
Right now. Like, you know.
If you want to put new stuff out, you've got to have a crosshair at the minute, otherwise it doesn't feel as impactful. But obviously that'll be revisited when we get more archetypes in.
Yeah, it's definitely our biggest section of armors we currently have. And these are the pure combat armors. We've got the best at absorbing damage, good radar for finding humans, and but they'll lack EVA.
Yeah.
Can you find creatures too?
Yeah. Anything with a mission of kind of IR and EM.
Oh yeah.
But it's not resource. They do not have resources, so you're not going to
Totally
be
cool with
finding
colors and emblems.
minables with those. Stealth armors, again, we've talked about. They reduced emissions and sounds. What are you reading the red pen?
Now see how much is left.
No, just that. The Hunter armors we've talked about is the only combat armor to have EVA, and it has an amazing radar for finding people.
Oh, nice.
They'll see you coming more though.
The only combat with EVA.
It has less
I love
damage
this
mitigation.
direction.
Utility armors. Right, I'm going to actually breeze through these because I don't want to spend too long, actually. Right, medical can scan health. No, so when you do a scan, it will show you the health of people around you and various other things, and it can locate downed players from much
dude, that's
further away.
awesome.
Like specifically, that's its thing.
So if you have
right?
medic armor.
Yeah, so if you do a scan, you're going to pick up the down players that you wouldn't normally pick up just by IR and EM. Yeah, there's engineers, and they can reveal the positions and health of components. No, just this one. And resource specialists, these are like the salvagers and miners. We have an amazing resource radar. And hopefully we'll reveal details about minables that you would otherwise have to go up to and scan, like from a distance.
So you can be on the surface or whatever, scan, send your ping out and see the things. You don't have to go to it to find.
We're going to have industrial players in industrial outfits, industrial operations. That's going to be
It's still a distance to go, but if you scan and then focus on a rock that is like 50 meters away, you might get some more information than that otherwise you would have to. Yep. And then you've got the Explorer, which is like the jack of all trades. It's got kind of good utility. It's got the crosshair.
This is what you wear on a generalist
ship. It's got
ship.
good environmental resistances, and it can scan resources. Its damage resistance is fine, but it's not a combat armor. And then you've got all the other kind of very specialist things. You've got EVA, heat, cold, and radiation. And they hopefully speak for themselves.
Thank you for everyone who's still here.
No, I really I appreciate this, Luke. It's
a huge spreadsheet. It took me forever.
Yeah. How is the? Obviously, we've been talking about some aspects of what you've been talking about, which you just talked about. We've been talking about for 2 years now.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to give like a general progress? I'm not saying a when. Don't answer a when question.
Like I say, I think like 90% of it's done, and maybe even more.
90%'s
I've got
done?
a few more things to clear when it comes to those perks. The things that make them stand out, and again a little gimmicky, right? All this that I've talked about is signed off, right? Once I've got those perks sorted, it's just off to code to do estimates, and then we see where it fits.
I don't think his 90% done is my 90% done.
Still in the design phase.
Still in the design phase.
Still in the design phase does not strike me as 90% done. So maybe the design is 90% done.
Ballparked it, but
okay. Sam, how has the new focus on dungeon-style content, we call them operations, but the question says dungeon-style content, changed design goals for FPS gameplay?
So the quick answer is they haven't, really. We've changed what content we are trying to make currently, because before we started making the dungeons, we didn't really have any. And we've been taking a lot of time to try and start constructing these more defined locations where we want to take players through an experience. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop making any of the other sort of more contested zones, PvP-oriented areas. That's still very much a thing that we're focused on. It's just we're trying to counteract the amount of content that is just general outposts versus defined experiences. We want to basically go from where previously we made locations to show off features to just making locations that make use of features, or just cool locations.
I did shut it down, Wolf, but I came back because
ring
my
station that you can ride a gondola around.
Obligation was pretty short.
So I did it, and that's coming out this month.
It's
Sorry
so
for the disruption.
Let's talk a little bit about Rockcracker. It's a little off the topic here. Folks who are in PTU, are seeing that there's essentially at this moment there are three kind of different versions of these breaker stations.
Yeah.
There's ones that don't currently have a rock in them, and those will be for a variety of sandbox missions that actually come online about 2 weeks after 4.7 releases.
Yep.
So 4.7
It still annoys me
release,
they call it stuff
towards the end of
sandbox
this month,
missions.
and then about 2 weeks later there'll be another content drop that releases an entirely new suite of mission content that will utilize these third versions of breaker stations.
There's no such thing as a sandbox mission.
Yeah.
Then there are two versions of the breaker stations that have these giant, enormous rocks in the center, and one is more like a contested zone kind of thing. It's like players have seen with Line of Mine and Stormbreaker and stuff. It is, you get the mission and everybody has these locations. They're on your star maps. You go and it's
The contested ones aren't on your star maps.
the contested ones aren't on the star maps.
No. So the way they work is that we have multiple instances, basically. Not instances.
Yeah, you can't use that word yet.
Not instances in actual instance, but a version of the mission that's at a location. And so basically 5 groups of players can go to each one at a time. And we have multiple locations that they can go to. And the expectation is that you should be taken to one where someone else is and you should fight for the stuff, basically.
So that's a bit more chaos in those ones. A bit more of that PvP.
It's for people who want to do PvP.
Exactly,
and who
not
don't
idea
want to spend
infinity.
the high price of entry for the exclusive ones.
And that brings us to the third one, which are these exclusive ones.
Yes.
These ones are also not available on the star map. You have to earn the right to purchase the locations to these versions of the breaker stations, and those allow for only the people you share them with have it. So a true PvE experience at these places. So it's a neat evolution of what we were doing last year and learning the lessons we learned last year, and always trying something new and stuff like that. So these 3 different versions of these breaker stations that are coming in 4.7 are pretty exciting, and always trying something new.
I like that idea, by the way, Ark.
Yeah, with ASD, or with the Onyx facilities, we dropped roughly 600 of them, across planets. Always trying different things to see how to give something for everybody.
Yeah, we basically wanted to make sure that people who only want PvE should be able to get that, and people who want to fight for stuff can fight for stuff if they so desire.
Yeah. Now the flip side of that is that there won't always be a PvE version available.
Not always.
As long as the stuff you're fighting for is
So, and those are kind of things we'll continue
more
to
valuable.
throughout PvE
Risk and reward.
stuff like that, and it will continue to evolve as the game goes on.
The rewards also got better. I improved them today.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Anything you want to tell us about?
Not specifically. Go find it.
Okay. Zach.
Yes.
But yeah, Ark, having a reason for an organization to have
Is
its
this the
own
doozy?
industrial complex
Well, I
for
don't know what you
producing
think
that kind of
is a
stuff,
doozy.
I think would be amazing.
But this question has come up
all of that's going
on and
to be
off every
a boon
year
for the economy.
since it was first introduced as a concept back in 2013 when Shroud of the Avatar came online. It's 2013.
Right.
2013, 2014, I can't remember. Back with Richard Gary and Portalarium and stuff.
Too long.
This question is simply, how is the crossbow coming along?
Okay, so this
Crossbow?
was the first year that I got to basically plan out all the weapons, and the first one on the list, obviously, that always gets mentioned is the crossbow. So I can confirm that the crossbow is coming this year. The main reason I think that we got that crossbow was because Rich is an original Shroud of the Avatar backer, so he is very interested in getting his skin. So yes,
I didn't even know we were getting a
this
crossbow.
year. But I just want to tease some other cool weapons. I want to go over.
Before we move off the crossbow,
Go on.
it's not just going to be available to the folks who pledge for whatever level of Shroud of the Avatar. There are versions of it going
Yes,
into loot for
I
everybody.
believe they get a specific skin.
Yes.
if
Is
they
it going to
Shroud of
fire
the
a
Avatar.
beam?
Yes.
Is the
But the
question.
crossbow, a weapon this cool, is going to be made available to everybody who plays Star Citizen today, either through loot or through a bundle or whatever, or if you did pledge at those specific Shroud of the Avatar levels, that specific a skin, and the process of how you claim those will be made available to you when it comes time to add it to the game.
Yeah. So cooler than the new guns. There is one with space blanking, like we said, space AK.
Are you just gonna move on to other new weapons?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead.
Crossbows, a crossbow.
No, talk us about more.
Yeah, so there's space blank, which is space kind of based on a real gun sort of thing that people really like. We got loads of people like the space AK. We've got a lever action rifle. We've got.
You're adding more space versions of existing weapons.
Yes.
Okay, so like you did with the space AK.
Correct.
There's going to be a space something or other.
Yeah.
You don't want to reveal right now.
No, because it's very cool and it's something that people mention a lot. And
Just say we're going to get a space bolt action rifle.
Just little teas.
Like Space Godzilla.
Yeah, Space Godzilla, exactly. Okay. Or Mecha Godzilla.
A real thing.
Yeah.
Space Godzilla, a real thing.
Medgun pistol. I'm very excited.
Sorry.
Medgun pistol.
That's cool and scary.
Rifle.
I had no idea.
You're glossing over this stuff. This is a med gun that...
I want to leave it at that. I want to say the name of it, and then as it comes out, you'll see like, okay,
All right, so you're being
357 in
intentionally
space,
yeah,
yes.
basically.
All right, send your letters
You've
to
met me
Zach
before.
Priest, of 6 Manchester Goods Yard.
Yeah.
All right, so med gun pistol.
Medgun pistol, bullpup rifle, lever action rifle, and some more cool stuff later on as well. So that's some cool stuff that's
I had
coming
no
this
idea,
year.
Nask. That's
And well,
Ashley.
sorry,
Cool
let me be
history.
clear. Our intention is that those things come this year. And yeah, there's some other stuff. That's not just it. Like we also spoke about. We've said we want an area denial grenade. We know that gadgets and utility are big requests and things like that. But those are the things that I want to tease now. There's more than that. As we delivered a lot of weapons last year, we want to also deliver a lot of weapon content this year as well.
Like he just casually dropped, there's going to be a lever action, a 30th century lever action. Right.
Oh, the plan is that it's gonna have evolving geo as well.
Evolving
You switch
levers?
the fire modes and stuff like that. So leaning into like taking it and making it really cool and sci-fi.
And your intention is for this to come. All these ones that you mentioned. Intention. We all know how game development works, but the intention is for all of these to arrive this year.
Yes. And some more other cool stuff we planned out this year in terms of like looking how much we delivered last year. What can we deliver this year that is exciting and is really, really fun?
Okay. He actually printed up some pictures.
Look, I wanted to do it. I had some pictures printed out here, and I was going to say, which one do you want to know about, chat?
Right.
You do have the close-up.
I'll let you. Yeah.
Okay.
Give me one you want to show.
Okay.
Just give me one you want to show.
There's a really dumb. You know what the top one is, but this is a hint.
No, over here because we got the close-up
You
camera.
guys-
Okay.
Come here, bring it to me. Don't drop your microphone.
I won't. There you are. So there's a hint on the bottom of what it is.
A hint.
Yeah.
This is the picture. Go to the close-up. Go ahead. Let's see if it works. Okay. This is what he brought. So this is I'm assuming a space lever action
Space lever action.
and some railroad tracks.
And you'll have to figure out what that one is.
A fence.
No, come back.
Oh, you want me to pick it up? Oh no, don't sit on it.
Just go sit down.
Okay.
Sit down.
Jared, no.
Sit down. In Saint 666
Yeah, someone
says
got it.
dumbest thing ever.
Someone got it.
Mom?
I love this.
Okay.
And that one is stocked, not shouldered as well.
Space Cowboys, right?
Yeah, chat just, yeah.
I feel
Chat,
like I
you
had
got
a
it.
tabletop role-playing game back in the day. I had a picture on the front with like
how
this
did they
cyborg
get
cowboy in space
You know what?
holding like some kind of a smoking pistol.
I can't believe that my puzzle was
That's the
horrifically
imagery
obvious.
in my head right now.
He's not a level designer.
Speaking
To your
about a
point,
MedPen
Infinity,
gun,
about westerns.
can we have the MedPed automatically switch back to the gun after being injected, like it already happens in Arena Commander?
Yes, that's one of the options that we do want to add.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week. or-
Exactly.
Sooner than you hope, but further
Space
than you
Western.
expect.
Dude, imagine getting all of our
Sometimes
space
I say things
cowboy
that give me
guns and
trouble,
going
sometimes
and
I say
like
things that- I
robbing
wanna say things that really
the Microtech tram.
Let's see. Any progress
Try to
on
hijack
FPS
that
item
thing.
wear and tear, like armor tear or weapon misfire?
Yes. So in terms of weapon malfunctions and weapon overheating, every single weapon has that in Squadron at the minute.
I'm with
so
you on
every
the
single
duster,
weapon
Cosmo.
jams, every single weapon, well, the weapons that can overheat do overheat. That is fully implemented in Squadron 42, and it will be coming to the PU in the future.
Nice.
Okay. I'm gonna guess this is you, Sam. Would it be possible to climb more stuff?
Yeah. Basically.
Oh, there's
Obviously,
more to
Nash,
this,
you
like
need
SU
a,
boxes, ramps, and elevators.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I was
like,
just
it's
thinking,
space
that's
cowboy
what
hat.
Mark likes to go into the soft play.
It's we want to climb everything.
Possible to climb more stuff?
Yes, essentially. A lot of older content still probably won't be able to climb as
you up
much,
at night.
but as we have a much larger level design team now, we are able to make more stuff climbable and also design stuff that's more traversal oriented.
Automated tools got a lot better as well.
That's awesome.
Automated cover generation is now a thing. So level designers don't have to go and manually place a couple of points as well.
that was
which is
awesome.
very nice.
More
Just have
climbable
to
surfaces would
double-check.
be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't turn it all over to the
After
machine.
playing games where you can literally climb almost anything, that is a source
what
of
is the
frustration
status
for
on
me in
swimming?
Star Citizen. Like when I can't
Fully
get up.
implemented in Squadron 42 will be coming to the PU in the future.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yeah.
We've said fully implemented in
get swimming.
Squadron 42 a couple times.
Yes.
How different is FPS in Squadron? Yes, he's going for the paper.
Going for the paper. Rich said, don't get in trouble. He's like, I'll allow you to answer this one if you're not going to get in trouble.
Okay.
Now I've got to find it.
Challenge impossible.
So
Oh, God.
the question is, I'll cover for him while he searches for his paper. How different is FPS in Squadron 42
We're here now,
compared
Griff.
to Star Citizen, and what lessons from polishing there can we expect to come to
The
Star
space
Citizen?
moonshine still.
Okay, so there has basically been a lot of work on the player character. So from minor things in terms of like
Starcore.
the how actions automate into each other. So we have something called the sprint toggle now, which is the default, which essentially means like if I'm sprinting and I shoot, I have sprint to fire, so I don't start shooting when I'm down here. It comes back up, it's natural, it feels good. Even the new sprint
Nice.
pose, which is like up here, which includes like head bob. All of these things massively improve the experience that you get to, as you play the games. Like previously when we were doing in 2023, when we showed off all the FPS improvements at SitCon, where you think like backpack reloading, you think like ammo repooling and things like that. We're writing on these things in Squadron and obviously polishing them up for the release. And all of the things that we are working on in Squadron will come to the PU in future. The action matrix is the biggest one. We've got like sprinting while reloading. We've really been spending a lot of time dialing in that FPS experience and making it feel really polished. And even like sprinting now, like it's a really big thing for me because the gun goes down here, it goes off screen, you can't see it. When it's up here and you feel like you're running and things like that, it just feels a lot more polished. It's very nice. It's the FPS experience basically has been dialed in a lot more. There is a bunch of stuff which escapes the top of my head right now. But
You have your notes.
I accidentally deleted the question. I realized.
Oh, you want to come over here?
Yeah, go on.
Come over here.
Go on.
Yeah,
Yeah, because this was one I had to ask Rich for very nicely.
There you go. Go ahead.
Thank you I get to sit in the chair.
Yeah, go sit in the chair.
Oh,
Perfect.
You've
I've
been
never
good to-
seen
you've been
anybody
good
else sit in this
There
chair.
we go. So yeah, as we said, with movement accelerations, melee improvements, that's a big one. So hey, you're not randomly going to go in front of you anymore. It's there's nicer animations there. How it follows up feels better. Weapons having consistent slots. So for people who have to constantly switch around and do those things, I know it's very annoying, but that is now like cool. I have weapon 1, I have weapon 2. They have consistent slots. The action
be nice.
matrix. Oh yeah, for example, sprinting and med penning now. If you press sprint, you press your med pen button, your med pen, then you automatically go back to sprinting. So sprint toggle, beautiful. And yeah, my
Sounds
favorite
much,
one,
smoother.
weapon raise 2.0. So as you know right now, if you go up to a surface, you do this. We
Afternoon
now have a
sauce.
procedural back.
Sorry for the disruption
like that,
earlier.
and it's very, very nice. We've also moved the pushback point to the optic. So for people who want to aim over railings and shoot over railings, you can now do that. The FPS experience overall is far more smoother to play. FPS AI has basically been overhauled. Francesco Riccucci and Chris Roberts have been themselves very involved in that process as well. Chris has been very keen on making the AI experience in Squadron, so they've been working very closely together. Entirely new audio setup for guns. The guns sound absolutely amazing. The audio work on them has been incredible, not just the sound that you hear, but also the mixing. So that's basically how loud shots are, how they feel. So if someone's down the other hallway and they're firing, it sounds like they're down the hallway, and it is honestly gorgeous. And
that's amazing.
Yeah, all of that is planned to come to the persistent universe.
He's better than you.
This is why I'm so excited for Squadron 42.
He didn't
Even
have his
though
eyeline right. He kept
single player stuff isn't usually my cup of tea. I'm very excited just because I think
look down the camera.
Yeah.
Like this, but he spent the entire time. He wasn't talking.
It's going to give us
he was
a
talking to himself
polished
the whole time.
We've got a
preview.
question in here. What
No.
of how the PU is going to feel someday.
Go back. Don't trip over stuff.
I'll try.
All right. Good job, Zach.
Thank you.
Oh, you kicked my cable out.
Oh, damn.
It's all right. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, shit.
I give you a topic.
Okay.
No.
All good.
We are almost out of time. We can squeeze a couple more in these. Why is the boom tube dealing so much damage?
Okay, this is, Rich told me to be very careful with this one as well, but I actually do have this one written down. Because Rich said you can't say, oh, it's not. So why is the boom tube dealing so much damage? Well, basically, as we said, we're going to be looking at balance, we're going to be looking at damage and those things, especially with crafting coming more online, especially with armor coming more online, like you said, with the heavy armor, with the mass resistance and things like that. But the hardest thing with the boom tube, obviously, is the diversity of vehicles in the game. The diversity of the health between a light fighter, a ground vehicle, a heavy vehicle is, you know, it's a complicated game, especially when you mix all those things together. But most importantly, this is something we're looking at. I've already come up with a couple of ideas of what we want to do, like increasing the arming distance. Like there was a clip on Reddit recently where someone just shot it in a ship and the ship blew up because they were raiding on. But yeah, so it's something we're looking at and keeping an eye on. You know, if you take a boom tube into an encounter, you're sacrificing a weapon slot. You're sacrificing the ability to, you know, fight other people, fight other NPCs. So it's a heavy cost versus the reward you get for how slow the projectile is and how much spread it has.
We're also doing a bit of a refactor on the way explosions
I just love the name,
deal
Boom
damage to
Tube.
actors, because right now an explosion deals 6 times the damage to the player because it hits their head, arms,
Fishing spaceship,
legs,
man.
body.
Good question.
So you have to balance it weirdly, like so that one explosion would do like just 100 damage to
It needs to be an origin
that
ship,
cable, but to you would do 600 damage. So it's really hard to balance. So we're making it so that any explosion will do 100 damage to the player. Divided
Spread out
by,
amongst
yeah,
the limbs or
depends where it hits them, to how much damage they take, and it'll still just do 100 damage to an object.
Okay. Is med penning yourself in a down state still a planned feature?
Yes, that is still a planned feature, and the plan is to move it to the Adrena pen. So basically, if you get downed, you'll enter a down but not out state. That's also fully implemented in Squadron. But Squadron has expensive self-revive pens. It's obviously MMO, single-player game. But yes, so that is still planned. And let me just check my notes, see if there's any other caveats there. But
you'll be an Adrena pen for rezzing other players as well.
Yes, that's the other bit. You'll need the Adrena pen for other people.
I feel like the fishing ship
so you
has
can
to have
crawl
the
around on the
profile of
floor,
the 400i.
Traditional down but not out.
What is impact force in crafting?
Damage.
The 890 jump. Oh, that's way too big.
Is there anything planned to make something stronger than heavy armor?
Yes.
Yep.
Super heavy?
Super heavy armor.
And that is not just a new armor set either. That comes with a lot of restrictions, specific weapon classes, and things like that. So I think one of the things is you're not going to be able to heal yourself.
Yep, you're not going to be able to heal yourself. You're going to have a super heavy weapon.
Yeah.
But you can use other weapons. It'll just be, why would you in this extremely restricted thing? It's all about, you need the support. Like, because while you're there and you've got the big gun, you're unstoppable. But the moment people start chipping away your health, if you can't pull out that pen and heal yourself, you need a teammate there, otherwise you're going to very quickly become vulnerable.
Like a medic archetype of some kind.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Very Space Marine-y.
that pretty much does it for today's show, guys. Thank you so much. I do want to address something in the chat here. A lot of questions in chat, rightfully so, about Desync. There's probably no greater challenge that's affecting FPS combat and gameplay today than Desync. The reason Luke, Zach, and Sam aren't talking about it today is because they're designers. They do not work in the network coding, the server infrastructure, any of the areas where Desync rests. To that end, I'm going to go ahead and volunteer our own Chief Technology Officer, Benoit Beauséjour, and I'm doing this right now on the fly. He doesn't know about it. It's not a gag. I'm seriously doing it. So if it doesn't happen, you can blame me and not him. Benoit used to do these big, long posts on Spectrum where he'd walk through one major technical issue or another. I'm going to walk out of here and ask him to do that for Desync. It's not a conversation that I think super works in conversation like this. He's also one of the only people at the level to have the full overview and umbrella look at everything involved that contributes to it. So I'm going to ask him, and I'm going to go ahead and commit him and say yes.
If we get a post, we will dig into that.
I still have 1 or 2 favors to call in.
I got a lot of questions about the Desync as well.
I don't know when that's going to happen, but he's here. He lands here on Saturday. The first time I see him, I'm going to ask him to make this a priority to see if we can't get this going. Because I agree with you. I think it's an important thing. And I think the best way for us to talk about it is probably in a detailed post where, people can reread and read the information and parse the information. So we'll see how successful I am at that. But my promise to you is that I'm going to try. And Benoit is a pretty good dude. So I imagine it'll happen. All right, with that, that's Star Citizen Live. Thanks for watching. We've had a nice little streak of Star Citizen Live. This is either our 4th or our 5th episode in a row. Next week, we're back with an episode of Inside Star Citizen, looking at a bunch of the various content that's coming with Alpha 4.7, as stated, targeted for the end of this month, available for PTU now. You can help us, as always, getting into PTU and helping us test and beat on the pipes and make issue council reports and everything. Yeah, sorry. I'm realizing that I just signed Benoit up for a thing, and I'm just gonna. I'm already thinking about what I'm gonna have to say.
It's definitely
Nobody say anything publicly until he hears it from me. Like, I'm realizing he's now going to see it on Reddit or something before.
There is 2 days before you. I guess depends what time on Saturday.
Hold on.
But not impossible.
Canada's a few days behind though.
Hold on. We're gonna throw a Hail Mary, guys.
At Benoit in the chat.
Stay with me.
Hold on. Oh. I'll share my thoughts
we're gonna
after.
start calling him right now.
Okay.
Oh boy, I don't want to miss this.
What time is it in Canada? Are they awake?
It's Montreal, right?
Yeah.
That's
Teams would like access to the camera.
5 hours behind. Oh wait, no, it's 4 I think right now because of the daylight savings.
Oh yeah. That'll be all right.
Let's see if he picks up. It's not a gag. We're calling. We're going to try.
This is sweet.
Hi, Benoit. Can you hear me? Oh, hold on. I mute in case. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Hi,
Yes.
we are live on Star Citizen Live right now.
Sweet. What's going on?
We just did a show about FPS combat and gameplay, and the overwhelming topic in chat was about Desync.
This is great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I volunteered. Remember those big long posts you used to do on Spectrum about a really important topic?
Yeah.
I volunteered you to make one of those.
Okay.
And then
on these things specifically.
Yeah, on Desync specifically, and what's causing it, and what our efforts to fix it. And
It's all good.
I realized I didn't want you to hear about it on Reddit first.
Okay, cool. So just a deep dive.
just a deep dive on desync and why it's happening.
All things desync and networking.
Yeah, I think it's
Cool.
important.
Yeah, just
How hard can it be?
everything
We'll
that
do
has to do with desync,
Sorry,
like a
can you hear that? Can you
Wikipedia
say it again?
page.
We good. I'll do it.
All right. Thank you, Benoit.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right, bye.
It's so little
Bye.
effort. Just like a little encyclopedia, you know?
He's never taken a call from you again.
Yeah.
He's never.
He's never taken a call from you again.
That's it, chat. I just used up the last stroke I got. Thanks for watching. See you on Inside Star Citizen next week. Take care. Check out the weekly newsletter tomorrow. There's something cool in there too. Bye.
What a great ending. What a great ending. Well, we're going to get a really cool write-up on Desync to dig into together. I look forward to that. It was a great episode. Yeah, I'm with you, Griff. The end result is going to be, it's complicated, but not impossible. I think people, they kind of get stuck in the muck of where we're at right now. And yeah, Desync is bad in the game right now. Whoops. I like how they just jump us over to a stream. It's like, fuck. Yeah, things are rough on the desync department right now. I think people just kind of get dismayed, you know what I mean? They're just like, oh, it's never gonna get better because I've been living with it for so long. But there's been plenty of other games built on this this engine. I mean, Star Engine has obviously evolved quite a bit from its predecessors, but we have played other games on these engines that don't have these problems, and so obviously it's not just some intrinsic failure of the engine or the technology that's preventing things from getting there. There's a lot of moving pieces, and I'm not even going to try to talk about it because Benoit's going to do a much better job than I will. But we'll dig into it when it's posted. Just a matter of time. It's one of those things where like there's so many layers to the problem, and I know people get sick of hearing, hey, it's an alpha game, but like, the systems are constantly changing and evolving, and desync especially is one of those things that I would think that optimization has a lot to do with, and optimization is something that you are not going to do at this stage of the game. That comes much later, so. Anyway, I look forward to hearing Benoit's thoughts on the topics for sure. There's a vocal group of players that think Jared's cringe and annoying. Well, I think those vocal group is cringe and annoying, man. Jared's awesome. He's got the perfect personality for the job. It's no wonder CR picked him. If CR picked him, whoever picked him has great selection skills. Definitely an asset to CIG. I would love to know how much of the funding that they get is accredited to Jared. I would love to know that because he does a great job. Even like he doesn't even try to be a salesman, you know what I mean? But he just gets you excited and pumped up about stuff, and definitely an asset. End result will come down to, will they need to create server meshing compatible network smoothing predictions for FPS? It will be interesting. That's a good question, Hey, it's Nick. I don't know how much server meshing has to do with desync right now, because I would expect most of the situations we are in where we are seeing desync, we're not operating across server boundaries or anything like that. So I think the desync issues that we're seeing are entirely DGS, replicant, entity graph, that whole chain, right? I think it's in there. Not to mention the client side network piece. I'm sure given enough time, desync will be mitigated, but don't see it ever completely going away. At least not until we effectively in the beta period. Yeah, that's what I think, Griff. I think it's not going to be completely smoothed over until we're on the road to 1.0, like on the home stretch. That's when we'll really start to see it go away. But you think about other games like that were built on this technology that had large player counts. New World comes to mind. I mean, New World was built on Lumberyard, and I was in battles in that game with many. And even though it had some desync, like it was light years ahead of where Star Citizen is right now. If Chris is the brain of SC, Jared's the heart. Yeah, I agree with that. Desync's problem in most all games, super hard. Yeah, exactly. It's just a matter of how much of a problem. Like even in my New World example, you hit situations where desync would bite you in New World, but it felt a lot better. And I think that's what most people are looking for. They're just looking for it to feel better. It feels bad whenever the desync is visually like noticeable and really, really bad. Sub store goes to Jerry for SC Live and stuff. Nice. Which is entirely why I sub. I sub too, but I didn't know where that was going. But that's cool. These people will waste time saying bad things about others for no good reason, about things they can just find a person. Yeah, exactly. Desync 1 Live got really bad when 4.7 hit the EPTU at first. Was that just a coincidence? Been desyncing a lot lately. I didn't notice it whenever I was on Saturday. Like Saturday, the performance felt great to me. But you know, Star Citizen is definitely like the performance characteristics of the universe can change hour by hour, depending on what's going on in that back end. So tough to say on whether the 4.7 hitting EPTU, but I don't get the sense that their back end infrastructure is all that well decoupled at the moment, just based on, you know, events that we've had in the past, and especially the way multiple shards tend to degrade because of shared underlying systems, especially their queuing system, I think, seems to have a lot of shared infrastructure between environments. And so it would not surprise me at all if a 4.7 EPTU deployment was not completely isolated. Mature Gamer, thank you so much for the sub. I really appreciate it. If it was not completely isolated from the 4.7 deployment, would not surprise me. Really appreciate it, Mature. I bet it's a layering of systems, probably everything too modulated without optimization. Yeah, for sure. Since upgrading PCs, I see a correlation between hardware and desync experience. Seems I don't feel it as often. Yeah, I'm sure that plays a part in it too. I mean, that's the thing with desync, right? It's the entire chain from the database all the way up to your 3D graphics card. Like everything in between affects it. Which is, I'm sure, going to be part of the messaging we're going to get from Benoit. I need a new one. I'm in Lag City these days. Well, you just got the sticks, Cosmic. Desync is like a highway that is overloaded with traffic. Think about the PA Turnpike. I'm very familiar with the PA Turnpike. They just wrapped up like a 3-year road widening project, and I already needed the next 10 miles wide to keep up. Yeah, exactly. Good analogy. Good analogy. It's like everything in computing, right? You just need to keep upping the bandwidth and upping the bandwidth and upping the frequency and speed. Most of the desync I get is guns shooting and floating in the air after their owners die. I don't think I've ever seen that project, no, but my gosh. The desync I get is mostly like, let me think. Man, boxes. Am I the only one? Like when I'm managing cargo, holy crap, the desync, dude. Like it's glitching off the cargo grid, or it'll glitch through the floor of the ship and get stuck in the ship, or I'll be trying to put it onto a hangar or the freight elevator, and it just freaking flies through the wall. It's just stupid shit with cargo. Or the other place I get a lot of bad desync is whenever I'm trying to load a vehicle onto a ship. Anytime that two objects are interacting with one another, like the desync is so bad for me. Usually. There are some days where it works really well. Some days it's just an exercise in monumental amounts of frustration. You shoot an NPC in their body or a gun flies up. It's like watching a person slip a banana. Nice. Do you think they'll ever make it where cargo is less bug? Yeah, I think they will. I mean, it goes back to this desync conversation, right? Inventory lag, cargo boxes stuck on a grid, hangar requests. Yeah, exactly. Hangar's another good one, yeah. That hangar door gets desynced on me so much. It'll look like it's closed when it's actually open, or vice versa. I've lost ships that way. Annoying. I think the biggest desync happens when multiple people are together and systems pings network differences start causing visual jank from the server trying to correct Playing with someone that has a poor connection. Yeah, I mean, that could be. It's really hard to say. Without being able to trace the bits, very hard to say. NPC people and ships teleporting from skipping in the biggest thing I see. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever seen ships teleporting, but NPCs, yeah. Oh my gosh. You also have to deal with C, the speed of light, when you're playing with people across the ocean. Yeah, for sure. Syncing all that activity up across long distances is no easy feat. Handing off a cargo box with a tractor beam to another player, for sure. Oh my gosh, that we outlawed that. Like, we banned that. Don't use 2 tractor beams on a box. Like, you will break the box. Although I think in one of the recent patches, it was working a little better for a while. We accidentally discovered. I don't know if it's still working better, but yeah, for a long time that was just a banned activity. Like, that was a criminal offense. These things bothers me the most is when I'm in a fight and it switches my weapon back to yeah. Oh yeah, I get that all the time. Try to change weapons and it changes back. You try to changes back. Yep. Gun flying up in the air is intentional. Nice. They want the banana peel effect. Yesterday, Midas had his Geo get stuck half in his ship, half out. Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Had to turn his ship upside down for it to fall off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get vehicles and stuff like that stuck in my ship all the time. It's really bad in the Clipper, which I love. Pretty sure the desync causes all the Wicklow turn-in issues as well. Probably. Oh, that's another one. The hangar elevator. That thing desyncs on me all the time. How many ships have I lost because I tried to send it down the hangar elevator and it just happened to be on Saturday. Actually, Saturday the performance of the game was really great, but I still lost a ship to the hangar elevator just because the hangar elevator decided to. The ship wasn't exactly where it looked like it was on my screen, I guess, and it just started flipping around as I sent it down. I don't know if the Clipper's available to buy in game yet. That's a good question, Wolf. Lost a Polaris turn-in? Oof. That's brutal. That is a brutal amount of work to lose. That hurts. Anyway. Yeah, that was a good episode. I'm pumped for the different armor rolls. You know, I was pretty excited whenever they started making changes, like you have to decide between whether you're carrying a pistol or a med gun. And that's such a minor change, right? But a lot of people got excited about that because I think people are excited about rolls and varying levels of performance in different activities based on what loadout you choose to take. No different than our ships, right? So I think this is a really exciting evolution for FPS. The Hunter armor sounds really badass. I love the change they're making around EVA, where not every suit's going to have EVA built in. Patch watch up on Spectrum? What's that mean? And the idea of an EVA backpack, I think, is a cool addition. Pistol plus lifeguard now, basically the same. What do you mean pistol plus lifeguard? Oh, the lifeguard attachment on the multi-tool. Yeah, 98 Infinity. They're the only the only combat armor that's going to have EVA is going to be the hunter suit, is what they said. All other combat suits are not going to have it, although you can choose to take an EVA backpack. Would database sharding improve desync? Absolutely. Any isolation that you could do. It's no different than in the game, right? Like, we talk about this on the channel all the time. Why are they looking to do things like instancing or layering or any of that stuff? It all has to do with isolation. The more you can isolate processes from one another, the more you can isolate players from one another and prevent that state sharing or whatever, like, the faster things are going to get. And it's the same at the physical layer. If you can isolate database calls from one another by sharding your database up, you're going to improve performance and ultimately desync. One of the chief drivers of mitigating it is performance and efficiency. So if they're taking EVA away from heavies, they need to add the EVA booster suits at the same time, so we don't have to take a fire extinguisher. That would be sweet if we could actually use a fire extinguisher to EVA. I would love that. But yeah, I would imagine we're going to get it all at the same time. And whenever they do take it away, I imagine we're also going to get the EVA backpack at the same time. So if you want to EVA in a combat suit, you'll just have to wear the right backpack. But roles like that, I think, are going to add a lot more flavor to the game. Anybody have a link to the patch watch? I don't even know what that is. You can use a fire extinguisher now? Are you serious? That's badass. I had no idea. That's very cool. General. Oh, here we go. Oh, just posted at 1 p.m. Nice. Welcome to another patch watch. These posts shine a light here. I'll make this bigger. Welcome to another patch watch. These posts shine a light on upcoming features, improvements, and fixes that may not appear in the public roadmap. This time we're focusing on several gameplay balance updates coming to 4.7, from engineering tweaks to radar behavior, armor shield balance, salvage variety, missile balance. Woo, missile balance. This changes aim to improve combat readability, ship survivability, which I am very pumped about, man. The shield and armor changes are awesome. Overall gameplay experience. Let's dive in. New round of balancing to shields and armor aimed at improving combat pacing and ship durability. So they're still iterating on this shielding and armor changes. Shield balance update. These changes should make shield combat feel more consistent while reinforcing the intended strength of energy-based loadouts when targeting shielded opponents. Increased overall shield health across ships. Okay. Reduce the gap between shield variants to make their performance difference less extreme. Okay. Energy weapons will now deal increased damage to shields. I'm a big fan of this. I think we've needed kind of the specialization of weapons for a while. It's going to make the loadouts a lot more interesting. Tweaks to the armor update. This creates a clear combat progression where heavier weapons or sustained damage are required to break through strong armor before lighter weapons can become effective. We talked about that in the last patch notes we looked at. We're introducing minimum damage requirements for armor. When armor's at full health, certain smaller projectiles will no longer damage the armor. Yeah, we already know this. Once armor has been weakened and reaches the lower health state, smaller caliber weapons will begin to penetrate. Yep. On top of these, armor will get general balance pass to take these new changes into account. I'm not seeing any new information here. Perseus has heavy armor, so a small ship weapon won't be able to penetrate it. Yep, we know this. We'll need bigger guns to crack the tough shell at first. Makes sense. Dude, I'm so pumped for this. I mean, there's really no information on the armor, it looks like, but I can't stress enough how excited I am for the armor changes. It's going to make it 4.7 really interesting to go do some combat in. And I am going to have to check out the fire extinguisher. I had no idea. Now I want to go get it on a ship, grab my fire extinguisher, and see how it feels. Life support adjustments. Life support systems are receiving tuning to better reflect the effort required to maintain ship atmospheres. Increase life support costs to maintain the atmosphere. I'm assuming this is from an energy perspective. Reduce the exchange rate between life support systems and rooms. Reduced exchange rates between connected rooms. This is going to be wild. Life support generators will now also take longer to refill rooms and perform heat exchange. That's going to be interesting. I'm already like not used to this. I've damn near suffocated in the back of my ships with the door open. I don't know how many times now. Before I realized, oh yeah, we have life support now. I'm so used to be able to stand right beside a vacuum and breathe just fine, you know, like take a swig. In practice, this means atmosphere management becomes slightly more deliberate, especially on large ships where room-to-room air exchange plays a bigger role. Very cool. I'm excited. Yeah, they mentioned missile changes at the very top. I can't wait to get to that. Armor testing you've seen looks amazing. I can't wait to see it. Type of installed armor and radar mount, the assigned power, how direct effect on range. We already know this. This is reflected by the lack of pips outside the effective range and by appropriate UI elements during precision targeting. I can't wait to get my hands on this and see how that feels. Power and aim assist. Assigned power now directly affects aim assist range. This applies both weapons, for example. Is this, okay, no, there's new stuff down here. This range is reflected on your HUD by the distance at which target pips appear. Okay, yeah, this was exactly my understanding, but I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. That's very cool. Yeah, stealth is going to get so much better for all you people who like your stealth ships. And it changes based on both the radar installed in your ship and the amount of power assigned to it. Radars now require more sustained power to operate. Activation power requirements remain similar, slightly lower. Sounds like between radar and life support and all this stuff, we're going to have a lot more decisions to make on power allocation. Radars now require more sustained power. Okay, I read that. Weapon aim assist and ESP are available when a target is within your effective assist range. Increasing power to your radar extends that range, while reducing power shortens it. This adds another layer to power management decisions during combat. That's what I just said. That's awesome. I love it. Ballistics and lasers actually reflect off shields and armor. Looks really cool. Oh man, that's amazing. You noticed on the Perseus, the hangar took several minutes for the attempt to come back up after venting? Wow. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that catches me off guard. I'm not used to it. You're out mining off of Carrick in deep space, and one of my org mates went onto the catwalk in one of the open cargo pods and took off their helmet to drink and couldn't figure out why they died. Yeah. I mean, for so long, Project Gnome, that was not a problem. Now it is. Precision targeting is also affected by radar and power assist range. Sub-targets are now visible during precision targeting when you are within a meaningful assist range. Stronger radar power helps maintain that range, making precision targeting more reliable during combat. I love this. I love this change. Cross-section detection. Man, combat is going to feel very different and very awesome if this all plays well. We already know this. Cross-section signatures are no longer passively detected. You gotta be actively pinging. We know that. This change opens the door for fully stealth-focused builds, which I love. New radar items. New radar components have been created and are planned to become available through in-game shops, missions, potentially crafting. Manufacturers, baseless. Yeah, we already know that. Okay. Cave scanning reliability. The cave scanning setup has been reworked to make cave locations more reliable when scanning planets from your ship. Okay. That's cool. I can't tell you the number of times when I first started playing this game and I was intentionally looking for caves just because I thought it was such a cool feature of the game. It was before I really understood the mission system and all that, how impossible they were to find. So this could be really good for new players if they follow a similar path that I did. This should make it easier to locate caves for exploration, missions, and resource hunting without relying on inconsistent scan results. And this goes back to what I was saying about there is no such thing as a sandbox mission. The ability to scan down caves and find them on your own because you want to find them and not rely on some Moby-Glass mission to be able to find them. This is sandbox. This is sandbox, not missions. Firebird's excited for bounty hunting. Nice. Salvage contract pool has been expanded to include additional ships. Many of these ships are now gold standard and feature physicalized components, which means salvager will encounter a wider range of recoverable materials and parts. I love that. My favorite part of salvaging is actually disembarking and pulling components and stuff out of the ships. The paint scraping and munching, that stuff doesn't excite me at all, but recovering materials from inside the ship, it's kind of I guess it's like treasure hunting, like real life treasure hunting is what it reminds you of, you know what I mean? Like the people who are diving down and looking at old shit, like that kind of stuff. That gets me a lot more than scraping paint. So, greater variety in salvage targets, more meaningful component recovery opportunities, more dynamic salvage runs instead of repeatedly encountering the same ships. Love it, love it, love it. Missile balance and ship access points. All right, let's go. A balance pass has been made for missiles and ship access points, such as doors, ramps, and lifts. Missile changes. Missile explosions will no longer damage internal components inside of a ship. Whoa. Interesting. Previously, anything within the explosion radius could take damage, including modules and internal systems located inside the hull. Because of this, explosion radii had to remain very small to prevent ships from being destroyed by a single hit. Okay. I'm cautiously reading this, because, well. With internal damage removed, missiles can now be balanced more naturally around the explosion radius. The new balance gives players a clearer choice in how they want their missiles to behave. Direct, higher damage with a smaller explosion radius, or area, lower damage with a larger explosion radius. Damage values are also being adjusted, but overall balance should remain familiar. Specific values will shift slightly along the existing curve. These adjustments also apply to ground vehicles. I'm not sure. I don't know. This is gonna be one of those things I gotta get my hands on. Like right now, I feel like missiles have been in such a bad spot that the ability to hit internal components with them gave them a competitive advantage, but I don't know. What's up, Archer? Yeah, I know it means no more insta-gibbing, but I'm wondering if it means... Yeah, I don't know. Missiles have just been in such a bad spot for so long, I don't know if this is going to meaningfully improve them or not. Maybe. Like, once we found out you could hit internal components with a missile, it actually gave you a reason to use missiles. You know what I mean? So I wonder if not that it's, I mean, obviously nobody wants to be insta-gibbed by missiles. So this is a good change, without a doubt. But I'm just hoping that it makes missile boats effective. Yes, there was an ISC today. We already watched it. All right. Door ramps and lifts, because missile explosion radii are changing. We also reviewed the durability of ship access points. Many doors, ramps, and lifts currently have very low health values and were never properly tuned without adjustments. The new missile explosions could blow open a ship with a single hit, which would look odd and break immersion. To address this, we are increasing their health to better match overall ship durability. Makes sense. This should result in more believable damage behavior while still allowing access points to be destroyed under sustained fire. Cool. Makes sense. Well, makes sense. Sounds overall good. Nobody wants to lose their ship to one missile, so that makes sense. We'll see if missile boats make a comeback. Yeah, Archer, you have to watch the replay. It was a good one. It was all about FPS and the varying FPS roles and bunch of good stuff. At the very end, they talked about Desync, if you're interested in that. Jared made a phone call to Benoit and got him to commit to doing a big post on Spectrum. So we'll be keeping an eye out for that. We will definitely review that on this channel once it drops. Also takes bombing capitals effective, but not instantly crippling, I think. Yeah. The missile change alone hopefully fixes the game-breaking Connie bug. That's a huge problem right now. Yeah. Have a great rest of your day too, Griff. What's the game-breaking Connie bug? Cave scanning. Very cool. I'd love to see be really cool to be able to find small POIs like this from way up in orbit with the correct radar and equipment and stuff. One missile of any size instantly disables Connie. Yeah, that's a problem. Any missile hit no matter what. That's wonderful. That sucks for Connie owners. Oh man. Well, I'm glad they're fixing it. I know they had to do with the snub fighter causing a glitch. No surprise, Ryonin. That's what I was talking about earlier with the anytime you have two vehicles interacting with one another, the desync is so bad. Well, it does not surprise me at all that the snub attached to a Connie would just make instant death. That checks out. Pair that along with cross-section missiles ignoring flares. Yeah, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. So I don't know. You think missile boats are going to see a role with these changes? I would love to see missile boats have an effective role. Like in EVE Online, you take a missile boat out, it felt good. To use, you know what I mean? But I feel like if I take a missile boat out in this game, I'm doing myself a disservice at the moment. Like I can only be in the fight for a certain amount of time, and I don't really accomplish a whole lot. I think missiles should get sub-targeting, and the range and radar should be effective at mitigating flares and decoys if used correctly. That would be cool. Warden got some buffs and increased the signature. I'm all for that change. Make more bully ships to become more visible. Yeah. The way I see it, missiles should be a weapon of opportunity that specializes at taking out big chunks of armor, making your target openly vulnerable to your weapons. That's a good point. And maybe missiles will have a a bigger role as Maelstrom comes online. To your point, Catalyst, like if you can get the shields down or whatever, land a missile against the armor and just blow a big hole in the side of that ship, maybe that's when missiles really come into their own. I was a little bummed that torps and the Polaris can't be dumbfired. Wonder if they will backtrack on that. Oh, I didn't even know they made that change. As it stands, missiles just do not work well in a game like SC at its scale. It is wildly flipped between instant pay to win or useless. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Catalyst. That's been my experience with them so far. With the explosive changes, I'd love to see it. That's another thing. Missiles should not hit through shields at all. Shields should block and take full orbs. Yeah. I don't have a strong opinion on that, but I'm all for like the like I'm fine if that's the case. It gives a reason for fighters to get in there, take shields down, make something vulnerable. But the only problem with that is right now if shields fully block missiles and you have the decoys and all that stuff, like it just seems, I don't know. I'm okay with it if the result of getting hit with one is devastating, you know what I mean? But if I have to overcome all this stuff just to land a missile, it better be devastating if you get hit by one. Once armor is implemented, they should look at games that have armor systems that work really well. In particular, personally, I would use Dark Tide as an example. Yeah. Look at Squadron 42 gameplay trailer. They had to take down the Kingship before they hit it with torps. Yeah. I'm fine with that, Catalyst. Like I said, I think that could be really interesting gameplay as long as the missile is deadly. Yeah. I can agree with that, Catalyst. It's a good way of looking at it. But if you can create that opportunity, especially if it's an opportunity that takes a lot of work to materialize, then it should be high impact. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to work my ass off to create an opportunity and then hit you with a missile and not even feel like I did anything, which is how it feels now. Or at least the last time I tried. Admittedly, it's been a while since I tried a missile. I just gave up on them. Light fighters have more of a role to disable turrets and PDCs. Yeah. Look at the Rattler missiles description. Rattler 2 missiles, a size 2 infrared cluster missile manufactured by Well. What do you want us to see on this? When fired, the Rattler will track the opponent's IR signature and create an opening barrage that weakens the armor or shields, leaving the target vulnerable to the full payload that follows. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading that right now. So this is basically a weapon designed to create the opportunity, is what you're saying, Catalyst. I love this direction of combat. Like, kind of turning it into a chess match more than twitchy, reactionary, afterburner style combat. You know what I mean? Like, I love the direction. With all the shield and armor changes, though, I'm wondering, like, how would you employ, to your point about light fighters' roles changing, I'm wondering what the ideal way of employing light fighters in capital ship combat is. Are you deploying energy weapon fighters to help weaken the shields? Are you deploying ballistic fighters to help take down PDCs whenever your opposing capitals weaken the shields? Like, I wonder how all that's going to play out with the... That's what missiles should do. Weapons of opportunity that create those openings. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense, Catalyst. I agree with your way of seeing it. But I would also like to see the inverse be possible. Maybe your capital ship uses huge energy weapons to weaken the shields of the opposing ship so that you can deliver a devastating torpedo or something, right? Light fighter serve the role of being able to intercept and focus down enemy heavy fighter bombers, be able to take strikes at PDCs, shield generator nodes. Got it. Yeah, makes sense. I guess I was using light fighter wrong. What I meant was smaller fighters. I was kind of lumping them all. Basically, like, anything below a medium ship, I'm kind of in my head picturing how the battle will go. I understand, like, the ultimate goal in the final state. They've talked about that extensively. I'm just wondering where the meta will be after these shield and armor changes alone before we get the whole kit and caboodle. But it feels like we're getting closer. A lot faster than I thought we were gonna. Yeah. It's gonna be exciting. 4.7 is gonna be an exciting patch, guys. Has it gone wave? Do we have any inkling on when it's going wave 1? I want to get out there and do some capital ship PvP when 4.7 drops. I'm looking forward to that. Wave 1 now? Damn. When did that happen? Wave 3 tonight? Shit. It's not far off. Man, 2 nights ago. Dude, okay, yeah, never mind. Can't believe it's Thursday already. This week got away from me. I'm still thinking we were early in the week. I shit you not. It's just been one of them weeks. You feel the same? I'm glad I'm not alone. St. Patrick's Day next week, Tuesday, so they really got to get the patch out. That's probably a bigger holiday over there than it is here. They need to undo the huge nerf they already did to the armor, though, due to light fighter crying. Armor deflection is worthless now after the nerf, where S3 painters punch through armor on big ships. Really? Aww. I hope that's not the case. New racing suits and paints just hit the store. Nice. There's potential of 4.7 for sure. Still a lot of bugs and problems though. They just released a silly amount of ship paints. Really? We'll check those out before we log off for the day. I gotta get to my real job soon. I wish I could do this full time, but I am still working. Let me check out the I don't even look for this stuff, so I don't even know where to go to find it. Want me to sort by new? No. No. We got a bunch of news at the top here. There you go. Bunch of racing paints. What the hell? Saber Star Kitten paint? The Nox Kitten paint? Star Kitten paint? I remember once upon a time, somebody asked, I forget who it even was, if they were going to do more Star Kitten paints, and he emphatically said no. And here we are. Look at all these Star Kitten paints. I couldn't resist. Are you serious? The noodle dispensers are working? That is pretty imba. Hoping for a green Zeus paint, but no go. You want the Star Kitten for the MSR Intrepid? Hey, more power to the people who love it. I've never been a huge fan, but I just remember that question coming up on a Star Citizen Live or an ISC. They were like, "Are we gonna get more Star Kitten paints?" And he was like, "No." But here we are. Where's their gear? That's what I want. There you go. There's your racing gear. Oh, dude, Origin? That's sweet. I think we've had that for a while, though. That's not new. For those that get excited about it, there you go. Not my thing. My wife likes to start getting armor and paints and stuff. Nice. But I'm all for it. Surprised there isn't Star Kitten for Polaris. Star Kitten Polaris. Why not? We need more Rager paints too, like pink and green. Hell yeah. Says they are the only good paints and armor in the game. Well, I mean, that's a good thing then, right? Like, if you can bring more people in with a paint, then do the paint. Polaris, in my humble opinion, seems to be lacking for paints. Yeah. Can't believe I was able to fly my 350R all these years without a matching flight suit. I can't believe it either, Dutton. Finally you're matching. 350Rs. I love Origin racing ships. Any new paints for the Hercules? Not that I saw. I didn't see any new paints for the Hercules. Well, can I just filter? I don't know if these are new. I don't think so. Doesn't say new. I don't usually go for the Star Kit and other silly stuff, but it's good fun. I came around on it. Nothing like a tattered up, pierced bald character rocking up in pink stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I used to be like, no, only serious stuff. But yeah, I've come around to it too. I'm like, whatever. If it appeals to more players, then I'm all for it. If we can't get Tashi anime wraps for the players for Idris, then at least Star Kid. All right. Bring it on, Kylon. Starkit and Polaris would be the best skin for pirating. It would be infuriating to be pirated by a hideous pink blue and like Team Death Machine. Hey, I'm all for it. That's a great idea. We need it for the Caterpillar too. I think a Starkit and Caterpillar would look great. So are missiles meant for breaking all the bits on the exterior off ships now? That's a good question, Lord Nine. I still don't know what missiles are for. Ask Arcadia. Or some other people in the chat there. Catalyst Destiny has some good thoughts on missiles too. I'm reserving opinion or judgment until I get another feel for it in the game. Like I said, last time I tried missiles, I was just like, yeah. Gregson, hello, good morning. We're actually winding down. We watched the Star Citizen live this morning. It was all about FPS, new armor rolls, and all that kind of thing. It was really cool. And then we checked out the 4.7 patch watch. They updated some notes on here. The biggest thing was probably the missile rebalancing, which is why we're talking about missiles right now. And then we were checking out the new skins available in the store, which some people get excited about. Get your credit card out. Yeah. I'm not getting mine out. I have bought some skins for my favorite ships, I have to admit. But I don't buy. I don't call them skins, they're paints, right? Missiles do a lot of damage, but they are inhibited by armor now and don't instantly hit components, so they soften up the target. There you go. Need a Star Kit and plushie. One like the Chrome. On the dash your ship. Yeah. We need the ability to have like dangly things on chains that we can hang up here, so they're kind of in our view. You know, like the fuzzy dice on the rearview mirror. We need stuff like that. Need more ships with rearview mirrors so that we can hang up stuff. You can hang your Star Kit and plushie there. Yeah, exactly. Fuzzy dice. Big fuzzy dice. I would rock those. Or maybe like one of those pine tree air fresheners hanging off, you know? That stuff would go perfectly in my ideal ship, which is just a larger cutter. I still want my flying Winnebago from Spaceballs with my pine air freshener and my fuzzy dice and the med bed in the back. That's what I want. Credit cards on hiatus while I'm getting well from surgery. Oh man, I hope you're recovering all right, man. Positive is I'm completing my first database. Been good and not been playing SC. Wow, there you go. Hope your recovery goes well. Are you writing your own database? Maybe some streamers for those Drake Air fans. I forgot about the streamers. Seat covers? Oh man, you got to have the what was it in the 80s? Everybody had like the leopard spotted seat covers or tiger striped. Definitely buy fuzzy dice. Yeah. I was one stream exploring what was it? The new station. And if you go down underneath, there's that one shop that sells odds and ends. And I found a couple things there. One was like this space dice where you didn't have to roll it around. You could just like the dice rotated inside this box. That was really cool. But they did have a big giant bouncy D20 that you could throw around. It might be the closest thing we have. Bead seat covers? I forgot about those. Weren't they the bead seat covers? They were uncomfortable as hell, and they were designed to keep you from touching like the hot seat, right? Yeah. Maybe there's different ones, but I remember somebody that had basically wooden ones. Oh my gosh, they were so uncomfortable. Leopard print and fuzzy dice, exactly. Pilot can't get out of the seat, stuck to the leather cover. Yeah. I think they'll make missiles and torps more popular as some 4th of July missiles and whistles have wacky flight patterns. Yeah. Everybody loves fireworks. You buy some seat cover skins for sure and dice. See, those are the kinds of things CIG needs to monetize. Don't monetize us things that'll prevent us from seeing what the enemies are wearing. Definitely monetize fuzzy dice and seat covers. Cockpit customization bundle, exactly. Grandma had them in her van, so uncomfortable, I know. I'm pretty sure it was my grandparents that had them too. I can't remember exactly. But I remember sitting on it once, and I'm like, it was the worst. And I thought they were so great. Think they were also to keep blood circulating when you were sitting all day? Maybe, yeah. Good point. They were on track with the 300 series customization? Yes! I love the 300 series customization. And you know what? I swipe my credit card for that stuff. That's the kind of stuff I want to see CIG monetize. Has no impact on the game. It just has an impact on my perception and enjoyment of the game. I remember being so pumped on the 300. This was within the first couple months that I started playing. And I found that where you could basically customize your ship on the website like you were at a car dealer. I got everything. I got the alarm clock by the bed. I got the coffee pot. I got the food processor, the paintings. I loaded that thing up. I got to choose my bedspread and the color of the steering wheel and the captain's chair. Dude, I did all that. I have and to this day, I never traded that ship in. I will keep that thing forever. It is a loaded 300i. I also have a loaded 300. What is it? The Explorer model. Yeah. Whatever the Explorer model is. What is that? 300. Man, I'm drawing a total blank on the model. 325 something? 315p. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, I have it loaded up one of them too. I love that thing. I really like 315p. That's the one that has the 12 SCU underneath, right? I love that ship. And it's got the extended fuel tank. Fuzzy toilet seat covers. There you go. Yes. No, which Which seat, Solace? Like the top or the one you sit on? Which one's going to be fuzzy? Oh my gosh, speaking of fuzzy toilet seat covers, does anybody remember the craze? This was also like a grandparent thing where everybody replaced their, their porcelain toilet seats or whatever toilet seats are usually made out of. Everybody went on this craze where they replaced them with the soft plushy ones. Everybody I totally forgot about that. Nobody does that shit anymore. Massive sunroof on a 300 series is still awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So gross. Yes, they were baby blue or pink. Exactly. Those were the only two colors I ever saw. And yeah, they always got cracked and yeah, exactly. That trend is as bad as carpet in the bathroom. I don't know that I've ever seen a carpeted bathroom. Yes, the soft foam plastic seats. I almost forgot they existed until Solace mentioned the fuzzy seats for bathroom toilets. My dad had a clear toilet seat that had a bunch of stamps and like a $2. I've never heard of that, Griff. That's wild. All these like fads, dude. And people wonder. Mom did it in the 90s. Yeah. You can get a toilet seat cover and toilet mat and bath. They all match the good value. Yes, you're right. I remember that. Oh, man. It probably came with a matching shower curtain, too. I remember those sets. Yes, they were squishy. They made a sound when you sat on them. Oh, man. Oh, man, shower curtains, yeah. Dude. I think when I got my first apartment, I actually bought one of those sets. I found I was like at Walmart, you know what I mean? I was not living high on the hog at the time, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I bought myself a matching set. It came with a shower curtain, a little waste basket, some hand towels. I think it even had like a soap holder. Like everything matched, and then the little carpet for in front of the John there. Yeah, it was great. Very, very value oriented. Got like a 10 for $10 or something. I can't remember, but appreciate y'all for making sure I skipped lunch today. Dude, just eat at your desk maybe, Whammo. If I close my eyes, it's like Nick Cage became a gamer. Nick Cage is the greatest actor of all time, I agree. Any resemblance, I mean, I can only take that as a compliment. What movie was that where he played himself? Thanks for the follow, Magus. It was a fairly recent one where he played himself. Oh. The unbearable weight of massive talent or something like that. Something like that. There was a scene from that movie. Anytime we talk about Nick Cage, like that's the scene that jumps to mind where he's just like, did I see Long Legs? Yeah, I saw Long Legs. That was disturbing. But here's my favorite Nick Cage scene. Here, I'm just going to bring it up. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong movie. It was. Okay, yeah, I'm right. This is it.
I think it's a good idea. You listen to me. You're Nick fucking... Whoa, okay!
That gets me every time. Not only does he play himself, but he's having a conversation with himself in a movie about himself. It's just, you don't get any better than that. That's got to be one of the greatest movies of all time. Sorry, I'm a sucker for Nick Cage. Anybody ever seen that College Humor video about him? Bringing Out the Dead, that was a good one. Although you guys like those weird Nick Cage movies. But the College Humor video about him taking basically any movie script ever at Renfield was a good one. That was so spot on, man. And that was done back in the... Well, that College Humor video came out in the early 2000s. And then he went on to live the predictions of that movie, man. Or that Face Off. Yeah. Face Off was good. Best Nick Cage movie was Raising Arizona. I don't know if I've saw that one. Please tell me people have seen the College Humor video that I'm talking about, though. Has anybody seen the College Humor video? Con Air, classic Nick Cage. You hate Nick Cage so much. All right, well then you might like this call. I'm gonna play it. Nobody's saying they saw it. This is a total parody on Nick Cage's career, but I think it's so great. What have you done? Yeah, it's your fault. Why don't I have sound?
From you, but after the Sorcerer's Apprentice, all right, listen to me. You're Nicolas Cage. No one can ever take that away from you. But after the Sorcerer's Apprentice, Bangkok Dangerous, Knowing, Ghostwriter, Next, Wicker Man, you need to be a little bit more selective about your films, Nicky.
I like being in movies, Gary.
I know that you do, but you have to say no to some of them. Like this new one where the hero is a Nazi who can only speak in adverbs.
Let's do it.
Now, I want you to think hard about this, okay? You'd be playing Superman.
I love it.
Let me finish. Superman's cat. You'd be playing Superman's cat.
I love it, Gary.
And everyone on this bus is vomiting, except for your character, who has diarrhea.
Count me in.
A raunchy teen sex comedy shot entirely from the waist down.
Absolutely.
This one is literally a documentary about dandruff, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, perfect.
An
missed it, but you
astronaut
came in
gets
time
lost
for
in
this.
space and his body implodes, except for his ass, which maintains consciousness and must find its way back to the ship.
Brilliant.
Oscar Schindler is not an action hero.
He is now.
People do not want to see an all-white remake of The Color Purple.
Sucks for them.
In a world where one man's dick hole is a black hole,
Yep.
Jack-o'-lantern comes to life, makes itself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and becomes inanimate again.
Hell yeah.
A lawyer wakes up with his ass where his dick used to be. Cheech Marin has the voice of your ass from the writer of Space Ass.
No.
Great, Nick. We'll pass on this. We'll get you something better with.
Sorry, my dog was eating my shoelace. Whatever you just said, I'm in.
It's the same action movie. They just changed the title to Kill a Mockingbird retold so that the black guy really did rape that woman. Why are you doing this? What is wrong with you? You're a madman! Nick, I quit! You're a tasteless asshole!
What?
A tasteless!
Oh my gosh. College Humor used to be the bomb. I don't know where they went, but they used to make the best videos. Oh. Yeah, that's gold, especially if you don't like Nick. But even if you like Nick, you got to appreciate that. Like, that is on the money, which is one of the things that makes Nick so so likable. He's definitely not a picky. He's not picky on the roles that he takes. Some of them are, but he nails some of them out of the park. Whoever was asking about SCL, just Eric, yeah, you missed SCL. You'll have to go back and watch the VOD. It was a good one though. You definitely want to go watch it. It was very good. You appreciate that about him now? Yeah, me too. I mean, there's some years that guy will put out like 4 or 5 movies, and they're all just so random. You know what I mean? It was a good one, Erica. It was all about FPS and the new roles. They're coming out with new types of armor. You know, like specializations. The one really interesting thing is they are getting rid of EVA on most armors. So most of your combat armors will not have EVA anymore, but they are going to have an EVA backpack. So, and somebody informed me, it was Griff, that the fire extinguishers actually work as EVA propellants. So I didn't know that. That's very cool. So at the very least, just grab a fire extinguisher on your way out of the ship. You mean they're all amazing? Yeah. I mean, I've watched just about all of them, Solace. We've been known to have movie nights at my house. And if there's a Nick Cage movie that we haven't seen, that's usually top of the list. Wall-E impersonation? Yeah. Well, oh man, I didn't expect this conversation to take this turn, but I appreciate the detour. I'm with you. Oh yeah. But yeah, as much as I would love to keep going, I have a job to get back to. I've already taken a 2-hour break or more from it, so appreciate y'all hanging out with me, watching SCL and enduring the enduring the detour down the Nick Cage rabbit hole. And whatever else we did to interrupt that poor guy's lunch. Hopefully you still got a few minutes. You can go grab yourself something from the vending machine. But I appreciate you hanging out with us instead. And yeah, patch notes. I can't wait to get my hands on 4.7 as we get closer. And when Benoit puts that post up on Spectrum, we'll definitely check that out together. I can't wait to dig into some meat there. Yeah, it was definitely fun. Thanks all. We'll see you again soon. Don't forget, Saturday, every Saturday, I do a live stream. We usually do like a 7 or 8 hour stream on Saturdays. That's the marathon stream. So hope to see a bunch of you back out for Saturday. And until then, take care. Rollo out.